How to leash train your Labrador, stop the Labrador pull. Picture this. You're walking down the street when suddenly your 80-pound Labrador spots a squirrel. In one violent jerk, you're flying forward like a human kite. Sound familiar? What if I told you there's a secret that professional dog trainers use that can eliminate the Labrador pull in exactly 7 days? But here's the thing most people don't know. Labs aren't just strong, they're genetically programmed to pull. For over 200 years, these dogs were bred to retrieve heavy game through thick marshlands. That pulling instinct, it's literally in their DNA. But here's what's shocking. 73% of Labrador owners are actually making their dogs pulling worse without realizing it. Are you one of them? I'm about to reveal the 3-step method that transforms even the most stubborn puller into a perfect walking companion. But first, you need to understand why everything you've tried has failed. Here's the truth no one talks about. Traditional training methods were designed for German Shepherds and Border Collies. Dogs that think before they act. Labs? They're emotional athletes. They feel first, think later. Watch what happens when most people try to stop their lab from pulling. They yank back on the leash, right? But to a Labrador, that backward pressure triggers their retrieval instinct. You're literally telling them to pull harder. The professionals know something different. Something that works with a lab's psychology, not against it. Step 1 is called the attention anchor. But here's the critical part most trainers get wrong. You see that moment right before your lab starts to pull? That microsecond when their ears perk up and their body tenses? That's your golden window. Miss it, and you've lost control for the next 5 minutes. Here's exactly what you do. The instant you see that tension, you become the most interesting thing in their world. But not by yelling their name. That's amateur hour. Professional trainers use what's called the curiosity sound. It's a quick kissing noise that triggers their prey drive, but redirects it to you. Try it right now. Make a quick kiss-kiss sound with your lips. Feel how that sound cuts through everything? That's because it mimics the distress call of small animals. To your lab, you've just become more interesting than whatever they were chasing. But timing is everything. Use it too late and you're just noise. Use it at that perfect moment of tension, and you've hijacked their entire focus system. Now comes step 2. The direction change. This is where most people mess up catastrophically. The moment your lab's attention snaps to you, and I mean the exact microsecond, you turn and walk in the completely opposite direction. Not a gentle turn, not a suggestion, a confident, decisive pivot. Here's the psychology. Labs are pack animals, but they're also natural followers when leadership is clear. If you're enjoying this, kindly like and subscribe. By changing direction the instant they focus on you, you're speaking their ancestral language. But here's the secret sauce. You don't look back. You don't call their name. You become a leader, moving with absolute certainty. Within 3 seconds, their pack instinct kicks in and they follow. What happens next is fascinating. Your lab experiences what behaviorists call cognitive reset. Their brain shifts from hunt mode to follow mode. That pulling tension, it literally evaporates. Try this tomorrow morning. The moment your lab locks onto something, make your curiosity sound. The second they look at you, pivot and walk the other direction with complete confidence. Watch what happens. Step 3 is the reward timing system, and this is where miracles happen. Most people reward their dog when they catch up after being pulled. That's like paying someone after they rob you. You're reinforcing the wrong behavior at the wrong time. Professional trainers know there's a specific moment. Exactly 3 seconds after your lab chooses to follow your direction change, when their brain is most receptive to positive reinforcement. Here's why. In those 2-3 seconds, your dog's brain releases a chemical cocktail of dopamine and endorphins. They're literally high from making the right choice. When you reward them in this window, you're not just giving them a treat, you're creating an addiction to good behavior. But the reward isn't what you think. Food treats actually dilute the message because labs are food obsessed. The most powerful reward is what trainers call earned freedom. The moment they choose to follow you, you immediately give them 3 seconds of slack in the leash to explore. This creates a powerful cycle. Pull equals restriction, follow equals freedom. Within days, your lab will actively choose not to pull because following you becomes the pathway to what they want most: exploration and choice. Here's exactly what you can expect. Day 1, your lab will be confused by your new behavior. They might stop and stare at you like you've lost your mind. This is perfect. Confusion means you're breaking their old pattern. Day 3. You'll notice the first breakthrough. They'll start glancing at you before they pull, checking your reaction. Their brain is beginning to consider you in their decision-making process. Day 7. This is when the magic happens. Your lab will begin self-correcting. They'll start to pull, remember the pattern, and choose to look at you instead. You've literally rewired their instincts. But here's what nobody tells you about week 2. Week 2 is when most people quit. Your lab will test you. They'll pretend they've forgotten everything you taught them. Behaviorists call this an extinction burst, a desperate attempt to return to the old way. This is where champions are made. The dogs whose owners push through week 2 become the perfectly trained labs you see in the park. If you're enjoying this, kindly subscribe, like, share. The ones whose owners give up, they stay pullers forever. Here's your secret weapon for week 2. Double down on your direction changes. Make them more dramatic, more confident. Show your lab that leadership isn't negotiable. But let me warn you about something dangerous. If you only do this method sometimes, you'll create what's called intermittent reinforcement. This actually makes pulling behavior stronger and more persistent than if you'd never tried to train them at all. Consistency isn't just important, it's everything. Every single walk, every single time they show tension, you must respond the same way. No exceptions. So there it is. The attention anchor, the direction change, and the reward timing system. 3 steps that work with your lab's natural instincts instead of against them. But remember, this only works if you understand the psychology behind it. Your lab isn't being stubborn, they're being a lab. Work with their nature, and they'll follow you anywhere. Tomorrow, I'm revealing the biggest mistake lab owners make during the first week of training, and it has nothing to do with the leash. If you found this helpful, subscribe now so you don't miss it. Your perfectly trained lab is exactly 7 days away. The question is, are you ready to be the leader they're waiting for? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.